People who can express themselves clearly and make themselves understood whenever you open your mouth. How the hell do you do that? I'm better at expressing how I feel now than when I was younger. For me personally, formal higher education actually helped a lot. Spending multiple hours a day hearing other people discuss and express relatively complex thoughts made it easier to find ways to express my own thoughts. I find that listening to well-researched podcasts made by intelligent people achieve the same thing. I'm Looking at You, This American Life, Freakonomics, and Radio Lab among others. I'm the same way, and also, getting into discussions about your thoughts either in a class discussion or writing papers defending a point of view goes a really long way towards giving you the tools to understand what you need to convey to get your POV understood. I was going to say make sure you use the right words, but actually it's make sure you use the right words for the right audience. Not everyone is at the same level of comprehension, so knowing what works for who is one huge hurdle to get over first. Not only words, but the complexity as well. You can dumb things down, but your conversation partner can't just become more intelligent/educated. Very frustrating arguing with someone who just doesn't understand the words you're using. Or even basic logic/concepts. Using logic and reason to win an argument only works if the other person is interested in logic and reason. Like arguing with an anti-vaxxer doesn't work because more often than not they just won't accept the logical arguments that point to what they believe being wrong. Edit, fine. Fine. I edited the your to a your. Are you happy now, Internet? Are you happy now? But it is possible to unreason a person out of a position they unreasoned themselves into. A great example, my cousin works for a pediatrician. One woman didn't want to get her son vaccinated because vaccines are a conspiracy. The doctor's solution? Or the talk about vaccines being bad is a conspiracy to compromise our health and well-being. This nutjob of a woman immediately jumps on this new conspiracy train and gets her son vaccinated. Lesson: if they didn't use reason to get themselves into a position, don't use reason to get them out. Some of the anti-vax crowd certainly are intentionally pushing people away from vaccines and towards their own products. One of the most infamous is the miracle mineral solution that claims to be an autism treatment. MMS, when mixed according to their instructions, is bleach. You're then instructed to make your kid drink the solution or give them enemas with it. Yes, people are giving their autistic kids bleach enemas because they've been led to believe vaccines cause autism and that MMS can somehow cleanse the vaccine out. Some people will stop at nothing to make profit. The point is that if you are using words and concepts that your audience doesn't understand, you need to find different ones. It's not because they're not interested in logic and reason. Everyone thinks their point of view is logical and reasonable. There isn't some category of person who thinks I know logic and reason tell me X but I prefer emotion and superstition so I'm going with Y. When you conclude that the person you're talking to isn't interested in logic and reason, what it actually means is you're not being effective at persuasion. You have to think about where that person is coming from and adapt your argumentation to appeal to their beliefs and values. People aren't computers and there aren't categories of arguments that are objectively logical and reasonable to every properly calibrated person whose operating system has the latest patch. In my experience, the people who go around telling other people they should try logic and reason are often the least logical and reasonable, because they don't even know how their own minds work. Read a lot. It gives people a much better command of language and a broader library of ideas to draw from when expressing their own thoughts. On the other hand, as Steve Martin said, some people have a way with words. Other people, not have way. Reading helps, but there's an auditory component that's important. Most people talk too fast. They talk faster than they think. I'd say listen to baseball commentary for great examples of people who speak. Also, don't rehearse in your head. Have a bullet point. You're more likely to trip up if you had exact phrasing mapped out in your head. Practice. Arguments help as well. Debating skills are actually quite useful in being able to articulate what you're feeling into actual words. It's not uncommon for even well-spoken people to fall apart when they are under pressure. They can think of what to say before and after, but when they're under the gun they can't spit it out. Practice makes perfect. Reading helps too. It helps you to learn the nuances of the language. We all know the great scene in Dead Poets Society. So avoid using the word very because it's lazy. A man is not very tired, he is exhausted. Don't use very sad, use morose. Language was invented for one reason, boys, to woo women, and, in that endeavor, laziness will not do. It also won't do in your essays. Reading helps you learn those words that have those specific meanings, and this can help you get your point across more accurately with less ambiguity. You still need the practice in actually talking about something on the spot, as the above post said. Armed with the vocabulary and the ability, nothing can stop you. Explain something the way you would want it explained to you. Edit, yes of course, you have to give leeway for you knowing more than the others. It is also more along the lines putting yourself in the other person's shoes and then looking at the question retrospectively. The idea will not be to blow your own horn, but to help someone else understand in a way that you would want to understand, were you at the stage they are at.